Yo, what's up? My name's Patrouski, and welcome back to Season 3 of Road to PokeMMO. Road to PokeMMO is a series where we play through each region of PokeMMO with an overarching goal to help build progress on our account. It's a way to show new players what building an account should look like in modern day PokeMMO, while also giving players background content during their own playthrough and progression. So to anyone out there playing alongside me, thank you. You're awesome and you allow me to do what I do, and I can't thank you enough for that. A lot of progress was made during Season 1 and 2. In Season 1, we made 1 million Pokeyen from scratch on a new account while playing through the Kanto region. We also picked up important assets like an HM friend Dragonite, and we built a beginner gym rerun team consisting of 2 Typhlosions, a Cottony, and a Torkoal. In Season 2, we built a PvP team continuing on from the resources we earned from Season 1, and had some fantastic success on a budget. Completing the Univers region also gave me access to many XP training and EV training spots, alongside a ton of great gyms to rerun for money. I spent a long time thinking about what my goal should be for Season 3. I really like the idea of a shiny hunting season, since that's my favorite thing to do in game, but that doesn't really translate well into video form content aside from stream VODs of me encountering the same Pokemon over and over again for 10 hours. Plus, I got lucky enough to pick up these 2 bad boys between Season 2 and 3. Look how handsome they are. It took a lot of thinking, but for Season 3, I've decided to go back to my roots of Season 1 and make it a money-making challenge. But since I have access to so many resources now, 1 mil Pokeyen would be too easy and redundant. This time, in Season 3 of Road to PokeMMO, I'm going to be on a journey to collect 10 million Pokeyen while playing through the Hoenn region's storyline. Now, 10 million Pokeyen is a lot to grind up to, and I don't want to just do gym runs the whole way. I want it to be exciting and interesting. So I plan to show off many different moneymakers and even testing some new ones along the way. One of the reasons I picked this goal specifically in Hoenn is because in Hoenn you gain access to Desert Underpass. Desert Underpass is the best Ditto farming spot in the game by far, and Ditto farming is some of, if not the best, money-making method in the game aside from gym reruns. This way I can also show you guys the process of Ditto boxes and explore some of the more intricacies of trading in PokeMMO. But we'll get to that in time. For now, let's go ahead and pick our starter, head over to Hoenn, and begin our journey. Really quickly, I do want to say thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this season of Road to PokeMMO, and if you find yourself enjoying today's content, please do make sure to like the video to let me know, and subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO uploads. And if you find yourself enjoying the content enough and find that I've earned your support, becoming a YouTube member or dropping a small tip in my PayPal is really appreciated. But enough of the YouTube spiel, let's go ahead and play some PokeMMO. Alright, well that ends the scripted portion and intro to the season. Welcome guys, I'm happy to have you all. I'm going to go ahead and just blast through the first part of Hoenn, I guess, this first part of Spiel. For those who don't know, this series is very raw, very unedited to some extent. I kind of just talk about things, I drop hints and tips and information here. I've been playing this game for 9 years, so whenever I can drop little bits of information that I would normally never kind of come into my head, or I would normally never think of while playing my main account in PokeMMO. It's nice to replay through these storylines and play through these things that I haven't played through in an extremely long time, and be able to give you guys my perspective as a veteran on those little things. So let's go ahead and get through this entryway of the Hoenn region, and I'll get to my starter. I'll tell you guys why I'm picking who I'm picking. Now, I do want to quickly note, if you've never transferred between regions before in PokeMMO, you lose all of your Pokemon that get sent to your PC, and you sort of have to start from scratch in that way. You can also note that I actually have 280k from my previous, regions and playthroughs and all my resources. You also get to keep all of your items and everything. I'm going to be able to keep all my items. I'm not going to do much about that. I think it's good to be able to keep that. But what I am going to do is once I get to the first town, I'm probably going to end up selling off my pearls and nuggets, anything that's worth any money. I'm going to sell off a bit of these items, not like anything. I'm going to keep Avial, I'm going to keep Choice Band, keep the helpful items, but I'm going to keep resources, but I'm going to sell off a lot of stuff, and I'm going to make it hard for myself, because I want that 10 million to be pretty much from scratch, but on an account that has some progress. So the way I'm going to be doing that is selling off some items, and then I'm going to be mailing every little bit of Pokeyen that I have over to my main account, so I won't have it on this account. So it truly will be a from 0 Pokeyen to 10 million experience. I also want to quickly note that Hoenn, I've only played through this region once in my entire history of Pokemon on my main account in PokeMMO, so there's going to be a lot for me to learn and a lot for me to remember and research about the storyline. For example, I totally forgot that you had to head over to May's house in the first town. So if you're following along with me, if you've never played Hoenn before, this will honestly be fantastic for you because I'm going to be learning a lot about the storyline along the way, pretty much like a noob. Even though I've been playing PokeMMO for 9 years now, and I love the game, and I love all the intricacies, and I've played it to so many depths, storylines have never been my strong suit. So after you talk to May, you are able to head up north and head over to protect Dr. Birch, who's messing something up. Alright, and here it is. Here is our starter pick. So I'm going to go ahead and break down all the positives and benefits of each of them. So I want to first things first. Trico is actually the worst starter in this region, unfortunately. Torchic is probably the best, as Blaziken is very fast, can be a mixed attacker, it can do a lot of things, be really dangerous, it can pack really good, decent coverage, can rock Flamethrower or Flare Blitz to prevent recoil damage and stay healthy. Mudkip / Swampert is really strong, really good typing, obviously need to be protective and scared of those grass types as they are somewhat common, but it's really bulky, it has access to Ice Punch and stuff, which can be super nice. And it keeps it really hard to deal with. Rest on Swampert can also be pretty good in the storylines, and even though it's somewhat slow at like a 60 or 65 base stat speed, if I'm remembering correctly, it's still fast enough in the storyline where it's gonna outspeed a lot of Pokemon, especially if you put some speed EVs into it. So I would say Blaziken is the best starter, Swampert's number 2, and then Sceptile is the worst. But you know what? I'm going to pick Trico because it's my favorite starter of the 3. So even though it's objectively the worst, we have some fun here on Road to PokeMMO. Alright, so our first battle was pretty much just pound into absorb spam, and then there we go, easy level 2 Zigzagoon defeated. Let's see what Birch has to say. He invites you back to his lab just to have a little bit of a chat and probably to give you the Pokedex, if I'm not mistaken. We now receive our Trico permanently, and if you aren't aware, the starter Pokemon in PokeMMO are considered gift Pokemon, which means they have a neutral nature and will have 15 stats across the board. Now, this can be a little frustrating at times, and it can be kind of lame, but honestly, in my opinion, it's probably a good thing. Adding the consistency of, a fair player base, a fair starting point, a power point to start the game with across all players is really, really important. If I were to have gotten a Trico with like bold nature, like 0 attack IVs, 0 special attack, just like terrible IVs, I could just be so shafted from the get-go, and that would really, really suck, especially with speed runs. And considering speed run consistency, this sort of 15 IVs, it makes it so you don't have to keep restarting and recreating characters to get those optimal speed runs, but it kind of evens out the playing field. And I think it's good overall. It's a weird change. It's tough to get used to. It kind of gets rid of some randomness, which can be fun in a casual play, but from a competitive and consistent stance, I think it's a positive change. Alright, and before I forget, there is our encounter counter in the top right hand corner. So that just counts our encounters since the last shiny we've gotten. For those that don't know, the shiny rate in PokeMMO is 1 out of 30,000. I did a decent amount of shiny hunting on this account between Season 2 and 3, as well as a decent amount of just catching Pokemon for Pokeyen and doing loop from 1 hours on this account. I used this account a decent amount. It was a super good tool to have between those seasons, but I'm happy to sort of get back into the actual playing of the account and progressing back into that main account status. So super slight optimization here. It's actually important to note that Pound will be doing slightly more damage than Absorb, as long as the base stats aren't too crazy. Actually, Absorb might be doing more damage just because of the special attack difference there. But essentially, Pound will be doing 40 damage, Absorb will be doing 20 damage, plus 10 because of the Stab. Stab stands for same type attack bonus that will come into play with a lot of my decisions. When a move has Stab, it shares the same type as the Pokemon. So Trico's a grass type, Absorb's a grass type. It's going to gain a 1.5 times damage multiplier, which is just 50%. 50% is 20, is 10, so you add 10. So 30 base power Absorb is the essential TLDR math of it, while Pound is doing 40. However, there is a decent base stat difference here. So Absorb might actually just flat out do more damage at all points. I was thinking that it'd be good to Pound first and then transition into the Absorb. This is obviously extremely slight early game optimization that matters so little, but I think it's interesting to talk about. I like Pokemon numbers, so if you're interested in that, you might enjoy this series. Quickly take out a Zigzagoon there for a little bit of XP while remaining super healthy. Now, I do really love grass types in Pokemon, since I love that sustain. I've always loved the idea of Giga Drain. I've loved the idea of doing slightly reduced damage. Giga Drain is 75%, or 75 base power, excuse me. I like the idea of giving up some damage for that sustain. It's really interesting to me, and I think it's a war of attrition. I think it's a fun thing to do in Pokemon. Alright, now I went ahead and sold off that Nugget and Big Pearl, and I'm going to be mailing all of this Pokeyen to my main account, and we'll see my cash stack essentially dropped to almost nothing. 147 Pokeyen left. Now, the goal of this challenge is to build 10 million Pokeyen from essentially no Pokeyen, but we do have access to some resources. It's not going to be totally from scratch because we've already done that. We've already progressed this account. We've done the 1 million. We're doing this in stages. This is stage 3. This is chapter 3. This isn't going to be a sort of totally from scratch thing, but it's a mostly from scratch thing. If you're a person who has progressed in PokeMMO a decent amount, this is for you. Now, since I have some Pokemon in my boxes from previous regions, I made sure to stock up on the 2 most important Pokemon, in my opinion, for storyline runs, and that is Scrafty and Crocodile/Sandile. So, I have all of these 5 Pokemon with Moxie. Moxie is the most important ability, in my opinion, when it comes to storylines, because it's so powerful, and I'll read to you what Moxie does. Moxie is essentially an ability that boosts the attack by 1 stage after knocking out a Pokemon. It's so incredible for snowballing. When you lead against a trainer with 5 Pokemon with a Crocodile, and you knock out 1, you're essentially getting a boost, and you knock out that boost will now enable you to knock out the next Pokemon in 1 hit, whereas you might have needed to 2-hit KO it before. And then you one-shot it now, and go to the 3rd Pokemon, and now you can definitely one-shot the 3rd Pokemon, and essentially snowballs, and it makes every fight become super easy. Even if you have to tank a hit and 2-shot the first Pokemon, now you can one-shot the next Pokemon, which you wouldn't have been able to do before, etc, etc. So I'm gonna look through these guys and find the best ones. I think the best ones that I saw were these 2, and then this Scrafty. These look pretty strong. So this guy's Brave Nature, even though it's minus speed, having that plus attack is super huge. Brave is plus attack minus speed. Natures are super important, way more important than the IVs actually, if you'd be surprised. This one's also Jolly. Both of these have Moxie. This Scrafty is Relaxed, which raises its defense while lowering its speed, which once again, the speed being lowered is pretty unfortunate, but you know what? It'll have to do. That's okay. Those are the best natures. I think going by natures in this situation is much more important since none of the IVs really stood out super hard. Quiet would just hurt me there. Gentle's pretty unfortunate. This one's Intimidate. There we go. So we have a level cap up to level 20. We still have 2 Pokemon slots, so I'm going to find 2 pokes that fit this team, and I want to try to rush through this region and through the storyline as quickly as possible. What we care about here is making Pokeyen, not, running through the storyline from scratch. We have the resources. We have the technology. You might have noticed, I also cleaned out my boxes a ton for this season, thankfully. We still have some stuff over here, like our utility mons and all of our powerful, useful Pokemon. We have our competitive team hidden back here in box 11. But I spent a lot of time cleaning. We had a lot of Pokemon caught that I hadn't really sorted through in the previous seasons, just because we wanted to make Pokeyen as fast as possible, right? And we're going to be catching a lot of Pokemon this season to make Pokeyen, I promise you. So I wanted to have my boxes cleared out for that. But this is the team we're rocking with. We've got the double Sandile with Moxie, the Scraggy with Moxie, the fake out Payday Meowth. This always earns us a little bit of extra Pokeyen while doing some pretty decent damage, and getting that fake out off is nice. And then a nice level 15 Magikarp in the back with some pretty decent IVs. Bashful Natures, whatever, but Gyarados is one of the best level up Pokemon throughout stories because it learns all of the good moves it needs to get. It learns Waterfall, it learns Dragon Dance naturally, I'm pretty sure. It's one of the few Pokemon that learns Dragon Dance via level up, which is just in itself really powerful. At 36 too, not crazy high up there. I went ahead and added some items across my Pokemon. Just Silt Scarf on Meowth, Black Glasses on this Sandile, Quick Claw on this one, Leftovers on Scraggy, Experience Share on Trico for now, and then nothing on Magikarp. I would like to start XP sharing on that, but I also want to catch some Pokemon, so I might actually be switching Trico to the front of my party. What I'll probably do is I'll probably put Miracle Seed on Trico and just go ahead and lead with him, or I'm not sure. I think the more efficient way to do it would actually just be to head through the storyline as quickly as possible. I don't want to worry about leveling up Trico right now. He doesn't need to lead my party. What I think I'm going to do is just payday through some of this early game, get through with Meowth, and then essentially I'll level my Trico and my Magikarp and my Pokemon that'll actually help me through the storyline once I unlock access to Hordes and Sweet Scent. For those that don't know, early game Pokemon doesn't really have any hordes, obviously, because they don't want you being overwhelmed. They don't want you to encounter, 3 to 5 Pokemon in the wild when you only have like a level 5 Pokemon. So it's not really balanced around this. We see May up here. I'm pretty sure this fight is a little weird if I remember correctly. But yeah, they don't want you to accidentally, have your level 5 or level 6 Trico swarmed by 3 Pokemon. So you don't unlock Hordes or Sweet Scent until later on into the map in Pokemon. You have to reach a certain city or a certain point. It's different between regions. It's different between grass points. This poor level 5 Torchic is going to get absolutely obliterated by my level 20 Meowth Payday. I'm sorry, May. It's not a fair fight. I've put in the resources. I have the advantage. Rest in peace. I always say that once you have your first region completed in PokeMMO, the subsequential regions, the one after, are just so much easier because you can always travel back to those previous regions to help you XP train with Hordes. That's one of the best reasons why it's so powerful. I went ahead and caught a Pokeyen just to add it to the Pokedex. Pokeyen is not a Pokemon that's going to earn me much Pokeyen, so I'm not really worried about farming it in any way. Although we do go ahead and get a 1x31 speed. You know what? I will absolutely take that. The first 31 Pokemon of the season 3. That's awesome. Let's go ahead and look how much that'll bring us. Around 7k, around 7,400. That's some solid Pokeyen. You know what? Happily we'll take that for sure. Alright, so after battling May up north, we end up having to go back to Little Root Town, back to our starting position, go talk to Professor Birch again, and I assume pick up our Pokedex finally here. Very similar to the same way it works in Fire Red, where you go grab Oats Parcel and then come back down. Pretty similar position, but I was just a lot slower at it because I'm not used to the storyline. Now, thankfully, your mom does go ahead and give you running shoes before leaving your town for the second time, so you get running shoes very quickly. That's going to help my progress a ton. Running shoes are always a huge milestone in Pokemon games. Alright, so then I headed back north up to Oldale Town and then west over to Route 102. And this looks like our first little gauntlet of trainers we have to battle through. It should be super easy, but I'm excited to see how much Pokeyen we earn. I'm hoping we reach over 1,000 by the end of this route, but might not even reach that. We'll see. The trainers at the beginning are obviously not going to give you too much yen. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised that I might actually be able to reach my goal. I'm earning about 60 to 80 Pokeyen from the trainers, but the extra 50 to 40 from the payday is really coming in handy. That payday Pokeyen might actually put me over my goal. Yeah, we're 850 now. Let's see. We're really close. There's also a Pokeball over here to pick up. Every little bit of Pokeyen at the start is going to matter a ton. Getting that starting yen is probably the most important thing. And I can't wait until we can finally get to Desert Underpass. That's when we'll be able to make like 180 to 200k Pokeyen per hour. And that'll really put us on a great track towards that 10 mil. It's also a great time to be starting this challenge since event season is coming up in PokeMMO. I'm going to quickly touch on this. For those who don't know, event season is essentially the Halloween event, Christmas event, and Lunar New Year event all combined. Since all of the 3 major holiday events are sort of back to back to back within a like 3 to 4 month type period in PokeMMO, it's very quick. And you have to have enough Pokeyen prepared for investments up into them heading into the event. So I'm recording this now on the 5th of August. You guys might not see it until September, so I can get recorded ahead of time and have some nice quality videos scheduled. But it's nonetheless, it's a perfect time to be making Pokeyen and preparing for those investments. Investments are pretty much the main way / only way to get extremely rich in PokeMMO. If you really want to make, those hundreds of millions of Pokeyen, or if you ever have that the insane goal of reaching 1 billion Pokeyen, really the only way to get that filthy rich is with investments. So stocking up on Pokeyen and getting that 10 mil prior to the event is going to help me out a lot in the long term. I do always say, though, if you're not willing to hold on to something for at least 2 years, if you don't plan to be playing PokeMMO for at least, over 2 years, then I wouldn't recommend investing. It's not for everyone, but it can be for those serious long-term players. There we are, reaching over 1,000 Pokeyen on that route, which is a really small goal, but it's cool to achieve, and I wasn't sure if it was possible. Alright, now here we are in Peddlebird City. I'm going to heal up really quick, mostly just for PP, and then see where we're going next. Alright, I went ahead and headed into the gym here, but if I remember correctly, I don't think he's actually the first gym leader here. I think I need to go talk to Wally or something. I totally forget this storyline. Gotta go with Wally, I guess. Wally's a cool character, though. I always liked him. I don't know why. I liked his Pokemon trading card. I remember that standing out to me quite well. But if I remember correctly, this is just the Pokemon catching tutorial. Pretty slow, pretty boring part. Gonna skip over that mostly. There we go. It just zips us right back. Perfect. And our dad gives us some advice. Head for Rustboro City beyond this town. Gotcha. I guess it's time to head over to Rustboro, guys. Okay, the guy with the glasses coming to stop us. Excuse me. What do you want, dude? Like, you said my clothes are dirty? What did he say? So I always loved the look of it. This is probably my favorite look of any NPC in all of Pokemon. Just sunglasses on a dumb little guy. I don't know. Can't help but love it. Now, I know the main overarching challenge of this season is to make Pokeyen, but it's important to remember on Road to PokeMMO, we're also going for that sort of main account building and progression. So you'll see me catching Pokemon here like Wurmple. Like, this thing isn't going to make me much Pokeyen. If anything, it might lose me Pokeyen, but it's worth it for that Pokedex entry because that's what you care about when building a main account. Getting those Pokedex entries are important, especially now more than ever, since whenever you complete a region's Pokedex, now they just updated this, you can go get the ability patch for that region, and you can actually earn some really good Pokeyen from that. So for example, let's check out the grass ability patch. Let's say, since I picked Trico, it's based on which starter you picked in that region, if I remember correctly. Ability patch, grass. So since I picked Trico in this region, if I were to complete the Pokedex in the Hoenn region, I would get a grass ability patch, which would grant me essentially 1.6 mil Pokeyen. So pretty good. Obviously, that's a very long-term goal to like really make not that much Pokeyen in relation to how much time you spent completing that COT OT Pokedex, but it's still a cool reward nonetheless, as opposed to no reward prior. Alright, then if you head west and then north from there, you'll find your way over to Peddlebird Woods. Once again, very similar to Viridian Forest. Should just be making my way through this. I don't know the perfect or correct route. It'll be interesting to see. Where does this take you to? Ah, the hidden Pokeball over here. Ah, yes, one Pokeball. Perfect. Now, if I was a money-making man, this would actually be a really good spot early game to do it. I could sit here and run back and forth and look for Shroomish. Shroomish have a pretty good base value because obviously Brelooms are really in high demand. Let's see. Honestly, lower than I thought. 1,500, 2K, not that expensive, not that good. Now, these are all females. Another good reason why Shroomishes are good to catch is because they're in the Fairy Egg group, I believe. You can't see it here. We'll look for at least one and definitely catch it. But the Fairy Egg group, male fairy Pokemon will often have a 3K base price because people need them and people use them to shiny hunt for things like Chansey, which is in the Fairy Egg group, and Chansey is a 100% female species. So what you can do is just buy 30,000, obviously over long periods of time and everything, 30,000 male Fairy Egg group Pokemon and just rebreed them over and over and over again with Chansey, and it's much cheaper than buying Dittos. So, oh, there's a Slackoth. That's why I love this Pokemon, so I would love to catch this. Let's catch this Slackoth. We'll also look for a Shroomish. We'll get some Pokedex entries, get some data, and also look towards maybe making some Pokeyen. We'll see. Thankfully, went ahead and caught that Slackoth on the first Pokeball. Love to see that. Modest natures. I mean, it's modest, 31 special attack, but it's female. What a weird... That's a very weird encounter. So, it's like us in just the Field Egg group, I assume, correct? So, yeah, Field Egg group, modest, 31. It's probably not that good. Now, unfortunately, it's very lucky that we got this, but at the same time, special attack in the Field Egg group is not super desired, but the modest nature is actually super relevant. So let's look at it like this. What if we were to price check it like this? It's still 4K. It's still only 4K for 31 special attack modest, but you know what? I guess that's 4K. Alright, that 10 million gold coming in strong. We're already at 2K. Are you kidding me? What is that, 0.2% the way there? We're basically there. What is that, 0.02%? I don't know math. Alright, there we go. Level 7 Silcoon caught and added to the Pokedex. Pretty nice. Let's check the IVs. Maybe it's something decent. It was male, so wow. Well, we've gotten some very good luck. I feel like I always get really good luck on catches early into the region. This is pretty good. I'll definitely mark this as noted. It's definitely relevant. I feel like I might have forgotten to name the last 1x31 catch. Now, you'll see me mark stuff as noted like this. I get a lot of questions like, what does noted mean? Like, why do you type noted? Noted essentially is a Pokemon that doesn't really have any 31 IVs, but it's still a good IV Pokemon that has some value and will sell for some Pokeyen. So it's essentially just denoting, and my way of labeling a Pokemon is, hey, this Pokemon has value. It's no direct 31s, might be a little weird to price check, but still worth taking the time to sell. Here's also our first little glimpse at Team Aqua, as we're just going to kill this Poochyena with one payday. So, not very, very quick glimpse, but I don't know, cool to see. Something I actually forgot about that battling this trainer reminded me, I don't think it's just Shroomish in this area. I think there's actually also Nincada, which also have a really good base price, or a decent base price of I think around 2 to 3K. Let's go ahead and double check, because people want to shunt Shedinja. Yeah, around 3K. People want to shunt Shedinja. And that is something that requires a ton, you know, more than 30,000 of hundreds and hundreds of thousands of, or I guess no, excuse me, 30,000 Ninkata on average. But you run into tentacle, more encounters, but it's just 30,000 Ninkata. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and just run back and forth in this grass really quick. I do really want to catch at least one Ninkata and at least one Shroomish. It'll be super important. And even though I'm in a rush to finish this storyline as quickly as possible, I feel like this is worth it to go ahead and add these to the Pokedex and just have the chance at catching one and having my boxes. Not a Shroomish or an Ninkata, but a Cascoon added to the Pokedex. Who can complain? Let's go ahead and see if it had any relevant stats. Nope, that's okay. Now, I did actually go ahead and teach my Trico Detect, because it has a level up move. For those who don't know, Detect is literally just Protect, but as essentially a different move. I taught it over Leer because Detect might actually come into play. I know there are some certain Pokemon, especially in this region. I think there's a Slacking in one of the gyms, and being able to just Detect or Protect on Slacking's attacking turn pretty much totally counters him. I might not need this. I might not need to keep it, but it's good to have for now. It's definitely much better and more useful than Leer, in my opinion, although it's a little close. Alright, there we go. Our Shroomish encounter. It is female, which is actually a good thing. Let's go ahead and catch it and see if we get lucky with any IVs. Alright, there we go. There's our Shroomish caught. Now, once again, we don't have the base price of Shroomish being 3k. Since it was female, it's worth a little bit less. But still a good Pokemon to catch. A great Pokemon to get in the Pokedex. Now, for those who don't know, you have to not evolve Shroomish until level 40 to get access to Spore, which is utterly terrible. And I always tell people, and I always recommend, don't do that. Just evolve it into Breloom, and it's so much more worth just to use Heart Scales to reteach the move onto it later on, or you can use Shrooms if you have Kanto Island 2 unlocked. But yeah, don't waste your time keeping it unevolved until level 40. It's just truly not worth it. Another Shroomish encounter back to back, which is nice. Definitely more worthwhile to just take the evolution, get those Breloom stats, and then just, this took forever to beat down last time. We'll try to catch another. But get those Breloom stats and then just reteach the move later on. It's so much more worth. Alright, here's our second Shroomish caught. No stats, that's okay. Alright, now, I almost made a mistake. Thankfully, I checked this before doing this. I already caught my Shroomish, so I was like, you know what? Let me double check to make sure Ninkata spawns here, and it doesn't. Ninkata is on Route 116, not in Peddlebird Woods. So happy I saw Ninkata on some trainers coming into here so I could have its dex entry and see that it's not here. So I'm going to go ahead and just head out of here and get on over to the next town. Really happy I double checked that. Alright, now heading north, I try to dodge as many trainers as I could. And now even, I'm going to have to battle these guys, even though you're getting XP and some early Pokeyen, when you've already completed those early game regions, this early Pokeyen and early game XP and everything is much more relevant and important in your first region. Now that this is my third region, this becomes so much less important, and it's really more worthwhile for me to preserve my time and just try to zoom through this stuff as quickly as possible. So we'll see how fast I can do that. We're going to definitely see how it goes, but I'm going to battle through this really quick as I can at least. Alright, now finally continuing on over the bridge, I want to go heal up really quick, and then I might even not need to heal up. I just want to take on this gym leader as soon as humanly possible. I believe there's one up here, yeah, to the northeast, and we're going to take down that first gym badge in episode 1 to just try to rush through things and show you guys that storyline progression. Now, I know this episode might have seemed a little slow or a little dry, and I apologize for that. I'm sure there will be a lot more progress-heavy episodes in the future, especially when I start doing episodes where I'm just like doing multiple hours of grinding for Pokeyen. I think this episode just had so much exposition to give, and it had so much introductory concepts, and there's so much talking and rambling to be done in the first episode in any sort of series like this. There always is. So hopefully you guys still enjoyed it. Hopefully you guys are excited as I am for season 3 of Road to PokeMMO. But I'm gonna go ahead and battle through these entry-level trainers heading up to this gym, and this gym should be an absolute cakewalk. And I'll see you guys with that badge. Alright, here we are. Let's go ahead and start the battle. It should be super easy. I might just skip through it for you guys. We'll see it. Roxanne is just leading Geodude into my Trico. Should be a double quick Mega Drain to easily take care of this thing. I might actually, let's Mega Drain first and then into Quick Attack. Now, it might have been slightly more optimal, actually would have been a lot more optimal to go ahead and Quick Attack on that first turn into Mega Drain, but it's a little scary if I end up getting outsped after that speed drop from Rock Tomb. So my Trico being level 13, this fight is still actually kind of scary. What is my base stat speed on Trico? 70. He's quite fast. I think I'll actually still be faster than Nosepass even after the speed drop. Let's see. Yep, there it is. Mega Drain. I should be gaining a lot of HP from this thing. This thing might have Sturdy as well, similar to the Geodude. Let's see. Oh, we don't even get to proc. We don't even see it. This thing's level 15, so I'm actually quite behind on levels at this point. This might, yeah, put me in red range, I was going to say. Now, I'm going to go ahead and make the switch here. It's funny that I still have to play this a little, not carefully, but I have to play it still interestingly enough, somewhat safely, which is kind of funny to see. I'm going to go ahead and make the switch over to Meowth because we get a free fake out. Why not? If I switch into Magikarp, I tank the attack for no reason. I can switch into Meowth, tank the attack, just for a Rock Smash. Surprising. Not too much damage, still defensible. I can go for a free fake out here. It'll be so little damage. Oh, he switches. Interesting. We got some strats coming through. Now, Aeron most likely did have Sturdy, so we at least proc the Sturdy there, which is nice. Get rid of that. And then from here on out, I essentially want to get back into my Trico, but how do I do it safely is the question. I'm probably going to end up sacrificing something, although I might just go ahead and head over to a Sandile. Does this one have any sort of ground type attack? Let's see. I feel like something on my team. This one has Sand Tomb. Yeah, let's head over to Sand Tomb, and we'll see how this goes. Wow, that Brave Nature Sandile Sand Tomb just one-shot the Aeron. We should be able to head back over to Nosepass. I don't think this thing has Levitate. I always think that Nosepass and Probopass have Levitate in their evolution line, but I don't think they actually do. It's just one of those things I confuse. Yeah, here we go. This should be pretty easy. Rock Smash comes in. I should be fine. Oh, he does crit, though. A lot of damage to the crit still, but should be totally fine. I didn't kill it. You didn't see the Moxie proc, so that means I didn't kill it. Wow, this thing is surprisingly tanky. Will the Sand Tomb passive damage be enough to take it out? Nice, there we go. First gym badge completed. Pretty easy stuff when you have this sort of resources from previous regions, but still a little bit of strategy involved, which is kind of surprising. You still just can't blast through it, even with all these resources. PokeMMO AI is no piece of cake ever. Alright, Rock Tomb and first gym badge have now been achieved. Let's go ahead and heal up. Oh, we've got stuff to fight on now. I guess this is going to send us on our next mission, I assume, north to deal with them. But you know what? I'm going to ignore them for now. I'm going to go heal up, and we'll have our little outro. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching episode 1 of season 3 of Road to PokeMMO. I hope you guys continue to watch and see all the progress that gets made, and hopefully see us get closer and closer, slowly, and then quicker and quicker and quicker, up to that 10 million goal. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please do make sure to leave a like on it to let me know. Subscribe for daily PokeMMO content. Check out the Discord link down below if you want to join a really cool community and just learn a lot about the game at a rapid pace. And then finally, if you think I've earned your support and given you enough entertainment or information about PokeMMO, you can support the channel by becoming a YouTube member for $5 a month, dropping a Twitch Prime or a Twitch sub over on my Twitch, or hitting up my PayPal or Venmo links down below. That's it for me. I'm excited to see you guys on episode 2. I'll see you later. Let's make some Pokeyen. Peace. Hey, thanks so much for watching till the end of the video. And a huge extra special thanks to all those cool duders who go above and beyond and support the channel and allow me to keep making content every day. You guys allow me to do what I do. Thank you so much. Have a good one.